Now, when you go to the airport to catch a flight, and it is on time, you board the plane, you find your seat, you sit down, you get all comfortable, and the flight is 14 hours non-stop. It's difficult, but will you have sabr? Will you have patience? Yeah, somehow you will spend those 14 hours. But if it so happens that you get to the airport and you find out that the flight has been delayed 4 hours, then what happens? Angry, right? Now, after 4 hours, you find out it's going to be another hour. You say, this is my ticket. Okay, these days nobody takes printed tickets, but still you insist on taking it, so you take it anyway. Right? And he said, this is my ticket. It says the flight was supposed to depart at this time. It's been 5 hours. You get upset, right? What if you sit on the plane like it happened with me once, and then because of the storm, because of the snow, the plane cannot move for 5 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours? Then what? You've lost it, basically. Sabr gets difficult, right? Now, what if finally when the plane takes off, the flight was just 2 hours? As opposed to that 14-hour flight. Now, for that 14-hour flight, you had sabr. Why? Because you knew that the flight is 14 hours. That's what the ticket says. Right? But when a 2-hour flight turns into a 14-hour journey, then what happens? Sabr becomes difficult. So what brings us patience is the fact that whatever is happening right now was written. It was written. I believe in that. And when it was written, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help me go through this also, because I have surrendered to His decree. Then sabr will come. In Surah Al-Anbiya, ayah 23, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَا يُسْأَلُ عَمَّا يَفْعَلُ وَهُمْ يُسْأَلُونَ. Allah is not questioned about what He does, but they will be questioned. What does it mean? That whatever Allah decrees, whatever Allah decides, it does not deserve to be questioned. Allah's decree, His decision is so perfect, it is so sublime, that it doesn't even deserve to be questioned. Why? Because who is the decision maker? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So any trial, any difficulty that has come my way, big or small, it has happened with Allah's knowledge, His decision, and Allah's decisions are based on His wisdom, right? His perfect justice, and His perfect knowledge also. This is why, as a person who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, am I going to wonder, why me, O Allah? Can I wonder? Can I ask about that? That, oh Allah, why this? Why this test? Why did this happen? Why did this person have to be taken away from me? Why did I have to suffer from such and such and such? The people of my age don't suffer from such a disease. Why am I suffering from this disease? I am still very young. Why? Will this happen then? No, because Allah is not questioned about what He does. Why? Because He knows what He's doing. We don't even know about what's happening in our lives. Do we? Do we know about what's happening in our own bodies? We don't know. Do we know about how our children are thinking, what they're feeling? No. Sometimes people are so close to us. They're visibly upset, but we don't even know what the reason is. Does it happen? All the time it happens. So the fact is that we are deficient in knowledge, whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not deficient in knowledge. He is perfect in His knowledge. Our justice, our standards of justice, what are they? They are deficient also. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is absolutely just and fair. In Surah Kahf, ayah 49, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Your Lord does not do injustice to anyone. Nobody at all. Nobody. Sometimes we feel bad about someone who's struggling. Like, for example, if there's a particular creature that is struggling, you want to interfere and you want to help out. But when we try to help out, we're not actually helping out. What are we doing? We're causing it harm. For example, if there's a chick that's trying to come out of the egg, what do you want to do? You just want to break the shell for it. right? Help it out. But if you do that, the chick won't survive. It has to go through that difficulty of trying to come out of the egg itself. It has to go through that in order to survive. I once learned about this particular fish that I don't remember now. Its name I don't remember. But this particular fish, they noticed that the fish that would eat it, another fish that would eat it, because of that predator, that this particular fish would have to, swim a lot. Alright? So what they did is that they got rid of the predators. Alright? So in a particular place, they got rid of the predators. But then what happened, that this particular fish, its taste changed. Alright? Its taste changed. It wasn't that good anymore. It wasn't that flavorful anymore. So then they figured out that because of the predator, this fish is constantly swimming, moving. Now that seems so sad. Poor fish. Let's, take it out of the misery and just take the predator out. Right? Save it some trouble. But that affected the quality of the fish. So in order to improve the quality of the fish, they put that predator fish in the same tank. They put the predator in the same tank. Now, in our lives also sometimes we see things that are very, very difficult to bear, very, very difficult to tolerate, very, very difficult to go through. But in them is good that we don't know about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And this is the reason why He's put that difficulty in our lives. If it wasn't good for us, He would not have placed that difficulty in our lives at all. Because وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. He does not wrong anyone at all. When you came here, did you find a dua card on your seat? This dua is dua for relief from sadness. When you're feeling sad, what should you say? The Prophet ﷺ taught us this dua. And in this dua, what do we say? Allahumma inni abduka, ibnu abdik, ibnu amatik, nasiyati, biyadik, madin fiyya hukmuk, adlun fiyya qada'uk. That, oh Allah, whatever you decide concerning me will for sure happen. And whatever you decree concerning me is adl. It is pure justice. It's possible that I don't view it as just and fair, but Allah, you know. I trust your decision that it is fair. So this is what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. عَدْلٌ فِيَّ قَضَاءُكَ. Now, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting us in some difficulty, what is the reason? What is the reason? What's the benefit? There are definitely benefits. What are they? Some of them are, firstly, we see that difficulties are an expiation for our sins and mistakes. If we don't suffer the consequences of our mistakes, would we ever fix them? Would we ever fix them? Let me give you an example. You have a disagreement with your husband. And in that disagreement, you say something that's disrespectful. Next thing you know, he's upset with you. And not just upset like he was last time. This time, he's really upset. So what happens? You're like, I'm sorry. And he's not happy still. And one day goes, and then another day goes. And then what do you think? What have I done? I better fix this. I better fix this. And then when you fix it, do you learn from your mistake? Now, if your husband didn't get upset with you for being disrespectful, would you care about being respectful with him next time? Or disrespectful with him next time? No. We won't, really. So when we see the consequences of our mistakes, yes, they're very, very difficult. But if we didn't see those consequences, would we fix ourselves? No, we wouldn't. So difficulties are meant to purify us. They are meant to remove our sins from us. They are meant to erase our mistakes. The Prophet ﷺ said, no Muslim is afflicted with harm because of sickness or some other inconvenience, but that Allah will remove his sins from him, just as a tree sheds its leaves.